Alright, good morning. My name's John Andrzejewski. This is my second fishing video. The first one I did a while back was drifting. So a lot of friends had asked me about how I do it, so I did a little video. And it actually brought some more questions too, so I was going to do a little more video today, and I can't drift. There's no wind out here. It is the lake is a sheet of glass other than the waves from other boats. It's January. It was 39 when I got out here in the morning. It was still a little dark, but it's probably going to warm up nicely today. Got a lot of bait, and you know, if you can't drift, you can't drift. So the weather has dictated other things. So what I'm doing is I'm anchored up. I got 3 pulls in already. I'm going to put a 4th, maybe a 5th, depends on how I feel and how they're biting. But I'm anchored in one of the areas that we like to drift when we were drifting. This is Calaveras Lake again, by the way. And one of the areas we like to drift has a ridge line that runs out from beside a cove. And at the end of that ridge line is a hump. And typically pick up some fish on that hump. We'll see how it goes today. So with that being said, my setup's a little bit different. If you saw the drift video, you saw how I had the setup. On the same setup as far as it's a Sante Cooper rig, okay? So you can see business end, Gamakatsu circle hook, all right? A float to keep the bait up off the bottom. The end of your leader attaches to a swivel. Right down here so you can see it. End of the leader attaches to a swivel. On the other side of the swivel, I've got a little bead that just protects my slider. The slider is a way to interchange weights, and today's a good example of why you need that. Okay, you can have a weight on here, right? But if I want to change out different types of weights, you'd have to retie the line. Okay. Now, when I was drifting, I was using this homemade drift weight. Okay, it's a snagless. It's got a swivel on one end, a bead at the other. I run 20-pound mono through it because even though it's called snagless, they'll still snag up. And if it does, I'd rather it break and lose these few weights than my main line that it's attached to break and lose all this setup. Okay, because all this stuff's more expensive than this. Okay, so these I make myself, monofilament through the middle. It's an ounce and a half I put on here. These sliders, you can get these at Team Catfish or at Cabela's. Okay, the same with everything else. Now, for the weights, since I'm not drifting, I don't need this one. I want one that's going to sit on the bottom and hold my line a little steadier. So what I have is a no-roll weight. Okay, get a good look at that. Now these are, you can find weights like this in just any fishing tackle store. These ones are actually made by a fella here in Texas, Chase, and he advertises them on Texas Fishing Forum, and he sells them, and they are really nice weights. And he actually, for our Catfish Association, our tournament association, he donates some for us too, so that's real nice of him. Actually won these ones that I have on here. Alright, so I'm going to pause for now, set this pole up, and then maybe set the camera up in a position where we can kind of watch the poles. Last time someone made the comment that, you know, it'd be great if I got the hoist picture where I actually got on video pulling the fish in. Unfortunately, my camera's battery's a weakling, and it was dying on me last time. So we'll see how long it lasts this time. Might have to get a new battery. Right, so we've got a little different setup now. In front, I've got 4 of the big poles out there. Sante Cooper setups with cut shad on them. And then I'm going to slip cork behind me here. I've got a rocky ledge with a lot of riprap on it. And I'm going to do some slip cork. Oh, another thing I haven't done yet, which I'll probably do now, is chum. Now, people call it chumming, some people call it bait, whatever they want to call it, bait in a hole. The difference to me, and I don't know if this is a universal understanding, but this is the way I understand it. If you're baiting a hole, you're going there daily, every other day or whatever, and just putting feed out, cat food, dog food, whatever it is, or soured grain, which a lot of people use. That's bait. Chumming, and that after a period of time, that'll bring fish into that area eventually. You know, as long as the area is decent in other regards. Chumming is just, I'm here, I haven't been here in 2 weeks, I'm going to throw some chum out, and if there's cats here, so it's not going to bring cats from across the lake or anything, but if there's cats here, it'll get them to start feeding and get a little bit of a feeding frenzy going, right? and then I'll get better hits. Fish breaking water right here. So I'm going to throw it now. Chumming, a lot of folks like to use soured grain. Soured grain is one of the most god-awful smelling things in the world. I would use it too, but I live in a residential area where if my wife didn't kill me for doing that in our area, my neighbors would. So I'm not going to sour grain. The next best thing are these range cubes, for me at least. Buy them at the feed store, 50-pound bag, I think it was, for like $9. Just toss them out there in the area you're fishing. Now, what they'll do is they sink, which is good. You don't want a floating food. And they break down. The difference between these and sour grain, 15-20 minutes, maybe. Sour grain will start working if there's fish in the area. These take a little longer to break down, so I usually give them 30 to 40 minutes. Okay? But we have in the past, when we caught fish and kept them, when we cleaned them, we found broken down grain in their stomach, or broken down range cubes. So we know it works. All right, well, been sitting here for a few minutes. We got our first fish on a slip cork, little channel cat. Come up here and take a look at it. Don't need a net for this little guy. Now this is a good Calaveras channel cat. Nice size, good. No, he's not the right mom about, but he's just a good eating size channel cat right there. And truth be told, I was on the phone with my fishing partner, because he's at work today, telling him how bad the fishing was and that I hadn't caught nothing yet. I look up, boy, he's bit this hook already, and my dang bobber's gone. Just like I said, you know, you risk gut hooking them that way. Fortunately, it didn't. But there you go. Slip corking. Nice little easy boy. He did tear this hook up. Wow. If I can fix it, if not, I'll put another one on there. Nice little guy, right? Not bad. Good eater. So, it's been probably 20 to 30 minutes since we've been sitting here. You recall when I was talking about the big Mars, or not the big Mars, I'm sorry, but the range cubes, that could take 20-40 minutes for them to get fish biting. So, that might just be the case this time.